Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. This is my weekly reading where we tap into the weekly energy, what the angels want you to know about this energy, what the angelic messages are for this week, for how we can make the most of this week. So I always like to dive into what the messages are that have come through first, and then we will dive into the tarot and build upon the messages that we connected with. So let's dive in. I've gotten a lot of questions about what's going on with this week's energy. This is why I do this video, because I get so many messages from people who are like, what's going on with the energy? So if you're one of those people, tune into this weekly reading. For anybody who's energy sensitive, for anybody who is connected to energy or finding themselves being impacted by energy, which is basically most of us on some level at least, we are all being impacted by the collective energy. And so it's so helpful to recognize what's going on so that you can start to make sense of it. But this is also, how do we make the most of the energy that we have going on? So this will set you up for success throughout the week. This week is a little bit of a, we definitely have the energy moving forward. Somebody asked me if the energy is very stuck and slow. And I said the answer to that question is yes and no, because the energy technically is very much moving forward. And we're actually watching a lot of things starting to happen, or if you're not seeing that concretely happening, you might be feeling that happening. It might not have arrived into your experience just yet, but holding the energy of that, knowing that it is happening if it hasn't happened already for you. But if you're feeling into the energy, you're probably feeling a bit of that momentum. But we also now are today, I'm filming this on Tuesday the 7th, we are in this full moon energy now. So that's going to impact us for the next couple of days. And the full moon is in Virgo energy. So it's a little bit, we have these opposing energies of Virgo in Pisces season, where this Pisces energy is very dreamy, and then the Virgo energy is very much like that get your shit together energy. And so it's kind of this vibe of bringing this dream down to earth, bringing the vision down to earth and starting to create around the vision. Okay, so what do I need to do? So if you're finding yourself feeling really task oriented around this full moon, that's why. Pay attention to the tasks that you are being called to work on. Pay attention to the things that you're being called to work on. And by the way, sometimes this energy is not about like those fun things that we want to be doing, but the things that we know that we need to be doing in order to get ourselves where we want to go. And that's very much been the energy that I've been feeling is, what do I need to be working on? What do I need to be taking care of in order to create a solid foundation for all of these beautiful dreams, all of these wonderful things that I'm understanding now that I need to be working on and I want to be working on as we move into Aries season. Because it's very much like here in Pisces season, the energy is develop the vision, okay? And now with this full moon, it's like, what tasks do I need to do? What do I need to take care of in order to start to make the vision happen? And then as we get toward the end of the month, we move into Aries season, and Aries season is going to be about becoming the vision. Okay, it's going to be about manifesting, creating the vision, but actually becoming it. And we start to see this energy coming in here now, where we're starting to get those intuitive prompts about becoming the manifestation. So what I mean by that, for those of you who are familiar with the law of attraction will talk about how it's so important to act as if. So to become the very thing that we want to manifest. And that is the task here this week, is to start to become the manifestation. And I think we're going to see a lot more support with this as we move into Aries season toward the end of the month, as we move into the astrological new year toward the end of the month. But that energy starts now, right? So right now, here at the beginning of the week, it's going to be about what are the tasks that I need to do? What are the things that I need to take care of? And then we're building upon this energy. I've been talking for the past few weeks about how we need to be moving differently, how we need to be thinking differently. We have energetically started off on a new path, and this is hopefully anyway, we've chosen the path that is the unknown path or the uncomfortable path or the path that is calling us to do things differently. And here in this energy, it's going to be really important that we are doing things differently. If you are in any way, shape, or form thinking about going backwards, going back into old energy or going back into doing things an old way that you already have let go of, that you've already moved beyond, don't do it, because it will significantly impact where you're going. It's so important right now that we continue to move forward, that we continue to work on moving forward. And so as we do that, as we move forward, we are starting to become the very thing that we want to manifest. And I want you to think about that. Who do I need to be in order to be or experience these dreams that I have, these things that I'm creating, these things that I want to do? So if I want to be this successful person, what does a successful person look like, right? Hopefully you're getting a little bit more specific than that, but I'm keeping that general for the example. But how do they move? How do they think? How do they operate? How do they interact with other people, right? And right now, it's going to be so important for us to be operating in such a way that we're starting to become that person. And so what we want to be doing is very much consciously choosing to operate differently. Okay. Now, when we have to consciously choose to do something, when we're not doing something that is that very subconscious, robotic, automatic process that we typically are operating our lives from, or we can be operating our lives from, that takes effort, that takes energy, that takes pushing ourselves a little bit. And a lot of times it takes pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, because it's like, I don't know, that's new, that's different. I don't know that I want to be doing that. Hi, Sheila, nice to see you on here. So that can be uncomfortable. And that can be strange, and it can just require a lot more energy to do it. And you might be feeling here, especially in this full moon, a little more tired, or I don't know, I'm feeling more energized just in terms of like taking care of the things that I need to take care of. But also, I'm kind of on the heels of, and I know a lot of you are because we've been talking about it, of these ascension and descension symptoms that we've been experiencing. So a lot of people have been feeling physical symptoms, feeling physically off or actually physically ill, or having difficulty sleeping or needing a lot more sleep, or feeling like we're having a difficulty in releasing certain energies, or just feeling different, off, whatever. I mean, there's so many different ways that people are experiencing this. Whenever my energy is ascending, I've noticed like I have issues with my throat. You guys might hear it in my voice a little bit. It's just the way that my body responds to the energy, and I think that it is for a lot of you. But you might be feeling anxious. You might be experiencing mood swings, and so I think that we're kind of on the other side of that. And we're tired. You know, there's been a lot of energy and a lot that we've been on this long journey with for a long time. We've been working a lot of things. So you might feel tired and might be like, but I don't know that I have the energy to become this person. But I think that right now, if we allow it, this energy will really fuel us, especially as we move into Aries season, to become the thing. And right now we want to just be starting to lay the foundation of that, and starting to just think about, what does this look like, and how might I act differently in order to start to manifest from a new energy, to manifest from the very energy that I'm wanting to create in my life. So again, I use the example of being successful. If you want to be successful, how do I behave as though I am successful now? How do I make decisions from that energy so that I am creating more of this? We basically are working on reprogramming our minds, reprogramming ourselves, our behaviors, our actions. And I think that what helps us right now is to just consciously choose to do things differently, because when you are doing things differently, it helps us to release old patterns, old ways, old automatic responses to things. And it allows us to create that change in other areas that much more easily. So shaking it up, doing it differently, in any way possible that you can think of. Just, mixing things up is really going to make that difference as we keep moving forward. The other thing that came up is like, as we start to do this, so as we start to lean into this new version of ourselves, right? We're not becoming someone else. We're becoming a better version of ourselves. I want to make that really clear. So it's not about being someone different. It's just about stepping into that better version of us. And as we do that, we're getting that ego kickback. I'm definitely experiencing that this week, where we're getting that ego kickback, where it's like, how is a past version of yourself fighting against the person that you are becoming? I'm going to say that again. How is a past version of yourself fighting against this person that you are becoming, right? Because as soon as we try to shift, as soon as we really try to lean into something new and do things differently, that ego will step in and it will go, wait a minute, what are you doing? This is different. We don't like this. We don't like change, right? The ego doesn't like change. The subconscious mind does not like change. So you're going to get that kickback. And so you may find that you're getting that past version of yourself that's fighting against this a little bit. It might be in the form of thoughts and thinking, who are you to do this? I was sharing that last week. Why would you think that you could make this happen? Or that's going to be hard. Why, looking at that and as soon as you start to lean into that, letting that get shut down. There's so many different ways that we might find ourselves fighting ourselves. It might be self-sabotage. It might be going backwards in a lot of ways. It might be looking at things and going, like for me, it's been a little bit like looking at it and going, oh my gosh, that's big and it's a lot and I don't even know how to break that down. So maybe I just won't do it at all. Right? And that's my bullshit, because I know on a soul level that I need to be doing it. So I'm doing it, right? And I'm, by the way, taking advantage of this Virgo full moon that is helping me to get my shit together. And I'm just doing it anyway, and that voice will eventually learn to like, just shut up, because I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to fight against that voice. I had somebody contact me today and she was saying, well, nothing's really happening for me and I'm feeling like I need to be doing this thing, but I'm scared to do that thing. And I said, do the thing, right? Like, you want to move the energy, do the thing. That's it. You already know the answer. And I think that we're getting a lot of that stuff. I also think that we are going to be feeling a lot of manifestations click into place this week. I had that happen for me last night. I don't even know what manifestation it was. I don't even know how to describe it with words, but I was just, one of my favorite things to do is just to have a dance party by myself. I like to just dance around my house. It gets me into a high vibration. And in that moment, number one, I felt God and felt just this sense of peace and warmth and love wash over me. But the other thing that I felt was a manifestation click into place. And I heard, and so it is, right? And it was so powerful. And I've been working on a lot of things, so I don't know which one it was, but I just know on a really deep soul level that it's happening, whatever that is, and that it's going to be really powerful. And so I share that with you because I think that we also, over the next week, over the next few weeks, are going to be feeling some of those things happen. And we might not necessarily see it just yet, but we feel it and we know. And when we're in that knowing, we are creating from that energy, and that manifestation has no other choice but to develop, but to happen for us. So I very much am excited about this energy. If you can kind of just coach yourself through the ascension symptoms and remind yourself that anxiety you're feeling, those mood swings that you're feeling, that confusion that you're feeling, whatever that is, that even like that sickness, this too shall pass. And we will find ourselves on the other side of that. Our bodies are being prepared to carry and hold more light. What a beautiful thing, right? When I say ascension and descension, our bodies are ascending to hold more light, but we also have that higher version of ourselves that is preparing to come down and connect with us. So we have that descension. And so we may find also that there's so much happening in terms of clearing and releasing and letting go. Again, remember not to go backwards. That is a really important message here this week. So let's take a look at the cards that we have. The Four of Wands in reverse. To me, this card is showing up because it's saying, don't be committed to the way that you've always done things. You don't need to be committed to the way that you've always done things. You don't need to be committed even to a routine. It's important for us to take a look at how have I been doing things and where is it important for me to shake it up. Just because you've done something the same way for the past 20 years doesn't mean that tomorrow you need to do it that way. Doesn't mean that that's the best way for you in your life right now. So where do we need to shake it up? Where do we need to do it differently? Where do we need to break out of these old stuck ways of doing, thinking, being, operating, approaching things? Where do we need to let that go? What are we married to that we no longer need to be married to, right? That no longer serves us. The next card that we have here is the Five of Swords. Five of Swords, paying attention to what is showing up in our experience. If something is showing up and it doesn't feel right, listen to that and honor that. I really feel like there's so much energy right now that is redirecting us, that is showing us, nope, that's not right for you. And it's redirecting us more quickly rather than allowing us to go through a really difficult experience that we suffer through for a couple of years, right? So pay attention to what your intuition is telling you. You don't have to go through the experience, but you could choose it. You could choose to ignore red flags. You could choose to ignore where something doesn't quite feel right. And you could put yourself through more difficulty. You could choose to go backwards into a situation that you know no longer aligns for you, but it's not going to serve you. So save yourself the pain and the trouble. The next card, the Death card, let it go. Let it transform. Release the death grip on the way that things used to be and move forward into the way that you want things to be. Move forward into this place, this world, this life, this experience that you are now co-creating with God. But to co-create this, you have to make space and you have to let things become and you have to let this metamorphosis happen. And a metamorphosis cannot happen without allowing change, without allowing things to be different, without allowing yourself to operate in a different way. Believe me, I'm a Taurus. I don't like change. I'm a fixed sign, but I've been allowing myself to change and I've been allowing things to be different. And this is truly the way that all of the magic happens. This is truly the way that we connect with freedom and truly the way that we connect with our most authentic and purposeful life that we're working toward. The next card that we have is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. What's not working for you anymore? You know, maybe it worked for you at one time, but it doesn't work for you anymore. There's very much this need to detach from whatever doesn't serve us anymore. And I don't even think like there's confusion around this anymore. I think we're clear, right? I think we're just afraid. So what no longer works for you or what no longer belongs in your experience, and this may be connected with work or things you're working on or things that you've put a lot of time and energy into. I'm kind of feeling that energy of, but I've invested so much in this. So what, right? At the end of the day, so what? If it no longer serves you, it no longer serves you, period, the end. That's the full message. These angels are coming in hot today. Sorry, guys. The next card is the King of Pentacles. What do you want? What do you want to create? And how are you going to create it? Start to work on it. Start to move in that direction. Start to invest in yourself, start to invest in the dream, start to invest in all that you're creating, whether that's your time, your energy, your money, whatever this is, but there is an investment and whatever you are investing in is going to manifest. So invest wisely, right? If you are investing in speaking negatively about yourself, about other people, if you are invested in continuing to be a victim in a situation, you will create more of the same. And that's your choice, that's your path. Or you can invest in what you want and where you want to go and what you want to be doing and the life that you want to be creating and pour yourself into that. I promise you that's going to have a way higher return on investment. And the last card that we have here is the Four of Swords. Where do I need to also just take a pause and make sure, tune in with myself and listen to myself and balance myself out, right? This isn't about go, 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 go and do all the things and not take time to listen to our soul, especially in this full moon. It's about doing the things and connecting in a really spiritual way. And I think that if you slow down long enough to hear it, you will hear the messages, you will see the guidance, you will be shown the ways that you're called to move differently, you will be shown the changes that you need to make, you will be shown what your marching orders are, right? I always say March is about marching orders because that's very much the energy that we get here in March, are those inspired actions, those things that we need to be doing. But if we keep ourselves so busy or so anxious or so overwhelmed all the time, it makes it really, really difficult to connect with those messages. Or if we are just operating from a place of anxiety and rushing and pushing and going, and we never stop to ask, how do I want to respond to this? How does this person that I'm becoming, or this person that I want to become, how does that person respond to this? Because I want to respond from that energy, right? When you're consciously choosing, consciously behaving, it's going to make all of the difference in how you're operating. Thank you guys so much. If these messages resonate with you, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you comment below, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, whatever it is that you feel called to do. I always appreciate it, and it's a really great way to exchange energy for the reading. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.